I have to tell you that I am sick and tired of feeling the pain, not lifting any heavy things, but just doing daily activities, daily chores. I am sick and tired of that. And if you are in the same boat as me, you know what I am talking about. If you do not have back pain, I do not wish that on you. I hope that you will never have to suffer through back pain as I do, as other people do. So because I am sick and tired and my back pain has not gotten better, but it has gotten worse and worse, I wanted to make it a goal starting today, starting right now, that I will do better, that I will have less pain, so fewer pain days. And if you are in the same boat as me, let's do it together. Let's set a goal for ourselves that starting today and on, we are going to have fewer pain days, and that our pain or our back issue is going to get better and better instead of worse and worse. So that is the goal. So how are we going to do that to make sure that we are taking care of our backs so that way we can enjoy doing the daily activities that we took for granted, I took for granted. And I have 5 things that I would like to share with you that I would like for us to start doing so that way we can reach our goal of having fewer days of back pain. But before we do that, I do want to say that I am not an expert. This video should not take the place of what your real doctor and or physical therapist advise you to do as far as what safer movements should be, how you should go pick up things, come back up, and things like that. I will link some videos that I found helpful. But again, I do want to let you know that these videos should not take the place of the advice you are getting from your own doctor and or physical therapist. So with that, let's go ahead and go into the video in detail. All right, let's go over the first thing that we should do to help our back. And that is, if at all possible, try to not have things on the ground. If you have back pain, you know that the ground is our enemy, is like our enemy. And we are going to try to make our enemy our friend. We're going to try to love our enemy. So if you are working with gardening tools, when you're done using any of the tools, try not to have it lay on the ground. Instead of doing that, you want to lean it somewhere. Let's just say you're done with raking. So you're going to find a spot that you can lean on, whether it's a tree, in this case this is a bird bath. So just lean it on like that. And lean this one on like this after you finish digging. And when you need it, guess what? It's easy to get it instead of having to bend down to get it because it's going to be harder for us. Same thing with something like this. This is a kneeling pad. So if you can, place it somewhere that is higher up, that's not on the ground. You can even do this if it will stick. There you go. So something like that. Something that's going to prevent you from bending as much as possible. But sometimes you can't help it. You have to get to the ground, especially for us gardeners, because we need to pull out a weed. So number 2 is using the correct form when we do have to go lower. In this case, pulling weeds, for example, it could be in the house to lift up something because we dropped it. Sometimes, oftentimes and not, I will drop one of my gloves and I have to go down to reach it. So knowing the right form will help with your back pain. All right, I am not happy about pulling out that weed. Usually I don't think about it. I just go down and pull the weed without knowing whether I did the right form or not, but I do think a little bit about it more than I did before. But starting today, I gotta be conscious about it. I gotta be mindful that I am using correct form to pull out that weed and other weeds around. So form is very important. What you want to do is you want to use your hips like ball and socket. So you want to be able to move your hips and your legs. So that way you keep your back straight. So here's what, if you just have one weed, for example, it might be easy to just do this. I call it a windmill because I do this to my body, my leg, I mean. So I do this to my leg and then just pick it, but you can see it's way down there. So it may be too low for me to do that. But if it were to be something like this, I could just do this. Lift up my legs, just kind of balance the whole body out. And I like doing this for something that's not as low. So I could see that this is way too low for my body to handle. So there are a number of different ways to go down. I think I'm going to show you what works best for me. And it's got to be something that you are comfortable with. Because if you're not comfortable with it, you're not going to do it well and you might end up hurting yourself. So I think the best way for me to do it, since there's gravel here, is to use a kneeling pad. If it's somewhere else, say on the ground where there's not hard surface, then it makes sense for me to just not use a kneeling pad. And I think I will invest in knee pads, so that way I can just have that on and be on a mission to weed without worrying about carrying this around. And it's easier because the knee pads will be on me. I don't have to maybe bend back and forth trying to pick up this kneeling pad. So that's what we're going to do, use this kneeling pad because we have a hard surface here and I do not have knee pads right now. So you want to be facing the weed because you don't want to be twisting as you are weeding, because that is bad. I don't know the specific reason why it's bad, but I assume that you're moving your body in a weird position that your core is not able to accommodate. I don't know for sure. So we're going to do what the experts say and just put that right in the middle where we're going to be pulling the weeds. And we're going to lean. It's not good because these things are here. So let's do it this way. So that way I'm still in the center and this is not in the way. So I'm going to go down. I could go with one knee first. So that's what I'll do. I'll go with one knee first. And that's going to be easier for me. And you could be on one knee if you wanted to, but I think for me, going all the way down like this is the most comfortable. And with my other arm or hand, depends on which one, I'm right-handed, so more likely I'm going to use this to anchor myself and I'm going to pull the weed out. And that seems to work the best for me. Just know that I can only weed around here. If I want to weed somewhere else, it's going to be a little bit harder. So I don't know what the experts would say, but I feel like if I want to pull that weed, I can just anchor myself this way. Maybe put my leg out like this. So now my weight is more evenly distributed and I can pull this weed here, which I'll go ahead and do right now. Hopefully my back is still in the right position. You don't want to round your back. Rounding your back, think of it as a C, is not good. So you don't want to round your back. You want to go like this. You want to curve your back so that way it's in the right position. And you want to use your arm and then come back to the stable position. And that works the best. Now, your best movement will be different than mine. Just pick one that works the best for you, best for your particular back issue, and I think you'll be better off. So this is my best movement here. Now, if I want to pull something right here, I would need to turn myself so I'm facing that way. I don't want to be doing this and then twist my back and do the other way, or over on this side. Now when you're in this position, you have already pulled out the weed. How are you going to get back up? A lot of times when we have back issues, we're stuck here. It feels heavy. It feels like there's a big boulder. We're the big boulder and we cannot get up because there's just so much weight. And I feel like I'm glued to this position. I normally don't use anything, but it's probably best for you to use your hand, or if you have a stick or something, that might be a good idea to do that. Or you can use your hand. So we're gonna do this. And you can rest right here. Take your time. That's one of the things that you'll have to do. Take your time. It's not a race, unfortunately. We're at this stage in our back pain journey that we can't rush anymore. And then you can do 1 foot at a time and then just come up. Or you can, whenever you come up, you want to think about pushing your butt, your hip area out, so that way your hip and your legs are doing the work. So you can hang on to this, but you don't want to be twisting. You can hang on to this and come up, or you can push up, whichever ways. Right now I feel like I'm not balanced to be pushing up because I'm here for too long. So I'm going to use this to help me, and I'm going to do my best to push up with my hip area, that is. So push up with my hip to come up, and that should be better than just coming up using our back. So that's one way to do it. Let me see if maybe I can do another way. So the other way that you could do it that might work for some of you is you can squat. I used to be able to squat for a long time, but I guess because I'm getting older or my back has gotten worse, I cannot be in a squat position for very long like I used to. So if you can squat, it is good. And I think I was watching one physical therapist who said that if you can be on your tippy toes for a long time, that would be good too. But right now, this is not the best position for me like it used to be. So if you can squat, that would be a good one too. And again, just focus on the weed that's in front of you. And if you have to move to a different spot, you'll have to, do that. You cannot be twisting. They do not want you to be twisting. So you can just go ahead and pull that weed. And for this one, since I have not been here that long, I'm going to push with my arms, and I'm going to lead with my hips to go out like that. And this works a lot better than if you were to just use your back to come up. Again, I cannot stress enough the correct form, because I think that's one of the reasons why my back has gotten worse, because I have not been using the correct form consistently. And consistent is key. So use the correct form, be consistent, and you gotta make it a habit, unfortunately. You're gonna have to, it's kind of like when kids learn to walk, we're gonna have to learn to do this again. We're gonna have to retrain our body to do this and to make it our new normal. Instead of, see, I kind of twisted myself. Yeah, you wanna be making this as part of your routine, and you're gonna have to, I'm saying that for myself too, gotta make it a routine, gotta relearn how to do things and throw away whatever we have been used to when we were younger with no back issues. So you just saw this, right? So let's go over what we're going to do to get this thing up. So sometimes you might have a glove. Sometimes you might have to go and get your kneeling pad. So this is what you can do. So now I'm still thinking about it. I have this to help me. I can also use one of these to help me too, or I can use one of these to do this. So that way I don't have to lean at all. Oops. There we go. And you got it. So that's one way. Another way is just like we were going down to pick the weed, we can go down to pick this up. So straight and then go over a little bit, but we're going to go over using our hips, not our back. Now I can just grab it. Now I have not been here very long, so I can go and do this, lean with my back, lean with my hips and come up. So the third thing that you want to do is to watch where you are moving and where you are going when you have a bad back. I say that because yesterday I tripped over a piece of log. I was backing up trying to take a video of one of the garden spaces, and I guess I didn't know how close I was to that particular log. Anyway, I was just walking like this, and all of a sudden I stepped on one part of it, stepped it at the wrong place, and I must have done like some kind of balancing dance or something, because I did not fall. Fortunately, did not fall, and was thankful that I didn't feel my back in pain after that, of course, until minutes later I felt the pain. And I was like, oh my goodness, what have I done? I am sore right now still. And I was in pain yesterday. After a few hours in, I could really feel it. Like my body, I think what made it worse was the twisting, because my body was naturally trying to balance itself out, and in doing so I was twisting in different directions, and I was weak too, of course. I am a lot weaker now, so I was doing a lot of movements trying to balance myself. So that all to say that please be careful where you are going. Moving backward, moving to the sides, moving forward, especially if you have uneven surfaces. Please be very careful, because I do not want you to trip over yourself and hurt your back even worse. All right, number 4. Number 4 is we have to start monitoring ourselves and be conscious of what we are doing at all time until it becomes a habit. I know for myself right now, everything seems to be new now that I'm making myself think very consciously what I am doing, what I am picking, movements that I am making. So I know that in the beginning, it's just going to be a learning curve. It's like learning how to walk again, learning how to talk again. We got to make ourselves do correct forms from now on, and we need to be conscious of everything that we do, especially if it has to do with our back. And we have to reprogram our brain to know that this is going to be our new normal. Whatever we have done in the past, the way that we lifted things, the way that we picked up things, those have to go, because what we are going through now is not the same as what we went through before. We didn't have back issues before. Now we do. And we need to make ourselves be conscious and do all these things, these new things, and make them become habits. And that is key. They have to become habits. We have to be consistent with all these new things that we have to do, because otherwise we're going to be back to our homeostasis before we had back pain. And guess what's going to happen? Our back pain is going to get worse, which is in my case. My back is getting worse because I have not been consistent. I've been doing certain things, incorporating new things, but I have not been consistent, and I need to be consistent from now on. I need to be using correct form every single time, not 7 out of 10 times, not 8 out of 10 times. It needs to be 10 out of 10. Until everything becomes a habit, we got to put it in our conscious mind to be mindful of things that we are doing. So now we come to number 5. And number 5 is we need to stay on top, and we need to continue to work on our core. That is something, again, I have not been consistent with. I will do some, and then I'll forget, and then I'll do some again, and then I'll forget. But it needs to be something that has to be part of routine, and that is to work on our core. And part of my core is not just the inner stomach muscles. It is also my buttock muscles and my thigh muscles. I noticed that it almost like one day, all those 3 muscle areas decided that they were not going to help me out anymore. They were just going to go south. It's like blah. It's just like all of a sudden one day they all went blah. They were just going to let my back do all the work. And that's what happened, because those muscles were not working like they're supposed to, especially my inner stomach muscles. I ended up using my back when trying to lift a big, gigantic container, and that's what started my back issues. And I hope that is something that your doctor has recommended also, because those 3 muscle areas are so important for our back health. And of course, we still need to use correct forms as well. Please let me know which one or which ones of the 5 things that you will likely incorporate into your gardening routine. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And if you have any questions or concerns, please write them down in the comments section down below. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next one, I hope you take care. Bye for now. And let's look at this hillside garden. So this is heavily packed with evergreen plants. I would say a good 90%. But if we come, oh my gosh.